I feel so much better that you are up here archiving everything instead of down at Mission Control.
Let's go save the world.
Hi everybody, I'm Joe.
And I'm Mary.
And we're Book Buds. And today we are discussing The Nemesis Effect by Michael Schotter. Now Michael is a really cool dude. He reached out to us and he offered us free books.
How nice. We like free books. Thanks, Michael.
He gave me the free book and he gave Mary the free ebook. He was very accommodating and it was really cool to interact with him. He was a really nice guy.
Yes, definitely. So we want to tell you about this book. It's a short novella, maybe just a little over 100 pages, science fiction. And the beginning of this did have me intrigued. And apparently this bird is really interested in the book as well. I'm sure he's going to show up on the video. He's loud.
Very loud.
But I was definitely intrigued at the beginning. It starts off with, you know, this regular ordinary guy traveling to work. His name's Tom, and he's in a pod. And so I pictured the pod as like this glass dome. I don't know, I imagine people probably picture it differently, but like, you know, futuristic kind of thing. And he's going to his ordinary job, not a very thrilling day, observing the people around him. But then something extraordinary happens and the pod stops and on comes this executive person who's like the elite of their world that you never see. And he's like, oh my God, I can't believe one of these people is in my pod.
Yeah.
And so the executive goes into kind of like a sealed section in the pod where you can't really access him. And he's eating some nuts. And Tom is kind of like foreshadowing. He's like, you know what? We're going to go over that bump on the track. And just as we go over that bump, he's going to be eating this nut and he's going to choke on it. And then don't you know?
Did he have like special powers or
yes,
something?
Like there were a couple times that happened for him, that he could kind of like see ahead how things were going to play out.
Right.
And we don't know why he had that ability. We don't know how, like if other people had that ability or not. But he ends up in the story, his role is being an archivist. And so he goes on this journey to kind of keep a record of what's occurring. And he was specially chosen by this executive because the executive's like, you could tell that was going to happen. He's like, there's something special about this guy, you know?
Yeah.
So he wanted that ability to be on this journey. And I thought it was very interesting. I don't think Tom really understood his ability. It just kind of happened. But I could kind of identify with that because for me, sometimes I'll walk things out in my mind. I'm like, oh, if we do this and we cross here and then it'll be there, but then it doesn't actually happen.
Oh, I was getting excited. I'm like, are you psychic?
No, not at all.
No?
But I'll play it out in my brain and then it doesn't happen. He played it out in his brain and it happened.
It did.
Yeah.
Well, he saved him from choking.
He did. So because of that, he was like, I should tell him that this bump's coming up. And he decides to go like tap and he doesn't hear him. And he does legitimately start choking. Yeah. He saves him. And it puts him off on this adventure with this man. So we're not going to spoil the book today because it's a short read. We don't want to give too much away about it. What else should we say, though?
Well, I love the cover, first off.
Yes.
Isn't the cover cool?
It is very cool.
Do you want to travel there?
Not really. I'd like to stay here on the ground.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in space travel. Thank you.
Now, something I thought was cool about this book was extremely upper management. How they have like a rating and they're like rated as something, but doesn't the rating change like in real time? Like if you do something good or bad?
Yes, like if you get a demotion, like let's say I'm, you know, ranked number 5 executive in the whole wide world, right? And then something happens bad, it's like down 265 or something like that. And it takes a toll on the people. Like they're like, oh, they feel it physically to lose their ranking like that.
Oh, and I would be a mess.
Cool.
You know me and comparing my numbers.
You're gonna cry.
I'd be like, how is my number? How is it today? I'd be like devastated.
Yeah, oh my God, it would destroy you.
That's tough.
I wouldn't like that either.
But that was a cool aspect of the story.
It was. There were lots of little like details that had me go, I'm intrigued. I'm really intrigued, and I want to know more. And given that this was like a novella, there were so many different parts of it that I was like, oh, this could be broadened, and oh, I want to know more about this relationship. You know, there were definite areas that I was like, wow, this could become something bigger. And that ending too. So they go to space because there's this journey, okay, and they have to save the world. And when they're in space, like things are happening that you're kind of like, wow, I did not see this coming. So the end part, I don't want to blow it for you guys, but the end when...
Oh, that part. Come on.
Right?
That was nuts.
So I was like, oh, how did that happen? And then Michael Schotter just leaves us there. He doesn't tell us how it happened.
Yeah.
But, you know, that was okay.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Very interesting. So the book went some very creative directions. It was a fun read.
Yeah, and people have, like, their vision is enhanced.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, I loved that.
Like, they have, like, other information laid on top of their vision or something.
Yes. So, like, an ability that they all have, like, it's like they have a transmitter or something in their eye and their brain so that they can pick up information real quickly from people. Like, Joe could communicate all sorts of stuff to me through this transmitter. It's almost like the Matrix when you could, like, learn something, like, in an instant.
That's how I pictured it, with all those, like, things in the air.
Yes.
Like the
yes.
lines
Like
and
you're
everything.
seeing things in front of you and you're like, oh, I have all that information now.
Yeah.
And the way it was described in the book, I was like, I want that. Like, I just felt like it was really useful. And it was really nice to be connected to other people and understand them so clearly. And there was a time when that system shut down and they didn't have that communication. And, you know, they were just like us normal folks. Have to go and speak to the person and tell them what you're thinking.
Right.
That was very cool. I did find myself wanting to have one of those.
Yeah.
It was an interesting read.
Yeah, it was. I don't usually read sci-fi, but this really kept my interest and I enjoyed it.
Cool.
So if you're enjoying Book Buds, give us a thumbs up.
And share us with your friends.
And subscribe to our channel, Book Buds!
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe.
I feel so much better that you were up here archiving everything instead of down at Mission Control. I know. I felt it. Total cornball.
So I'm listening and smiling. And then I say, let's go save the world. This is not... Wait, you have to look at the wig, bud. I don't know if this wig's on me.
What?
I don't know. It was like a bee.
You're freaking me out. Here's our blooper.
Is this hair proper? The seam is like over here. This is the way it's supposed to be.
I think this is your gray hair.
Stop it. I don't have gray hair. Yes, I do. Let's go save the world.
It's perfect.
Really? He's telling me it's perfect, people.